Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Monday, April 26th. We're going to be going over some NBA DFS picks today on both DraftKings and FanDuel. But before we get started, I'm going to take a quick look back at yesterday's picks and see how they turned out. So on the DraftKings side, we have Malcolm Brogdon, $8,700, looking for 44 points out of him. Got to 49.5, so he was a hit. Tyrese Halliburton, $6,200, looking for 31 points out of him. Got to 42.25, so he was a hit as well. Chetty Osman, $3,100, looking for 16 points out of him. Got to 31.5, so he was a massive hit, 10 times value there. Anthony Gill, the lone downer of the day on the DraftKings side, $3,300, looking for 17 points out of him. Got 7.8, so he was a miss. Oshai Brissett, $4,800, looking for 24 points out of him. Got to 25.5, so he was a hit as well. So overall, pretty solid day on the DraftKings side outside of that Anthony Gill play there. Then on the FanDuel side, Malcolm Brogdon as well, $8,700, looking for 44 points out of him. Got to 47.1, so he was a hit. Tyrese Halliburton once again, $5,800, looking for 29 points out of him. Got to 41.6, so he was a hit as well. Then Chetty Osman, $3,600, looking for 18 points out of him. Got to 29.9, so he was a hit. Anthony Gill once again was a disappointment, $4,000, looking for 20 points out of him. Got to 6.7, so he was a miss. And then Wendell Carter Jr., $6,400. We're looking for 32 points out of him. Got to 29.1, so he was a miss, but probably not a miss that killed you overall. So overall, pretty solid day on the DraftKings side. A little bit worse on the FanDuel side, but not too bad a day overall. But with that being said, we'll get into today's injuries. So this is a big slate. It's a 11-game slate. So we'll start off with the Atlanta Hawks and the Detroit Pistons. Hawks are going to be without Trae Young and Cam Reddish. Tony Snell, DeAndre Hunter, and Chris Dunn are all listed as game time decisions. We'll see if any of those three play today. For the Pistons, they just have Magruder and Dennis Smith Jr. both listed as out. The Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James still out. Dennis Schroeder, Marc Gasol, Anthony Davis, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Jared Dudley now are all game time decisions. We'll see who ends up playing out of that group. The Magic have Michael Carter-Williams, Otto Porter Jr., James Ennis, and Terrence Ross all listed as game time decisions. Just keep an eye out on that one. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, pretty much the same five guys out that were out the last time, so no major changes there. For the Philadelphia 76ers, Ben Simmons out once again. Korkmaz, Harris, and Joel Embiid are all game time decisions as well. I kind of expect at least two of those three to play today, so just keep an eye out on that one once again. And the final 7 o'clock game. So there's 4 7 o'clock games for today. So that's kind of good for 11 game slate. You got 4 early games, so you kind of know a good amount of news early on. San Antonio Spurs just have Trey Lyles out, and then Rudy Gay's game time decision. Rui Hachimura is listed as a game time decision now. We'll see if he makes his way back today or not. Then for the Phoenix Suns, Nader's out once again. Crowder and Galloway are both game time decisions. Then on the opposite side of that game, we got the New York Knicks. Burks and Robinson are both out. Powell and Shitu are both game time decisions. They both must have recently signed with the team. That's quite the interesting last name. Then we have the Cavaliers. Colin Sexton, game time decision, looking like he's not going to play though. So pretty much the same thing we saw yesterday. Then for the Toronto Raptors, we got Chris Boucher, Paul Watson not both out. Rodney Hood and Jalen Harris are both game time decisions. For the Clippers, they're going to be without Kawhi Leonard, Luke Kennard, Serge Ibaka, Patrick Beverley, and then Scrub and Rondo are both game time decisions. So maybe Terrence Mann's a little bit more popular today. Paul George is obviously in play. He's a little bit more priced up nowadays since Kawhi Leonard's been out for a little while. Then for the Pelicans, Lozada, Hart are both out. Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Steven Adams are all listed as game time decisions. Bulls just have Troy Brown Jr. and Zach LaVine out once again. For the Miami Heat, Victor Oladipo, Andre Iguodala both out. Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero both game time decisions. If they would both miss, it's going to look a lot better for Goran Dragic today. Then we move down to the Jazz and the Timberwolves. The Jazz have Donovan Mitchell and Azubuike out once again, so no changes there. Timberwolves have Malik Beasley out. Looks like Jalen Noel will be back today. Memphis Grizzlies appear to be all the way healthy. Valanciunas just did come back recently, so maybe he has a day of rest today since, he just came off that injury and they played yesterday. For the Denver Nuggets, Will Barton's still out. Monty Morris, game time decision. We'll see if he plays or not. For Dallas Mavericks, of course, the last game of the night is the one with, 4/5 of the starting lineup with game time decisions where there could be a little bit of value. So hopefully we know a little bit of this news early on in the day. But Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, Kristaps Porzingis, and Richardson are all game time decisions. We'll see if any of them play, if all of them play, some of them play. Probably going to make a big difference on this slate overall. And then Terry's out once again. For the Kings, Fox is out again. Woodard and Bagley are both game time decisions. We'll see if Bagley finally makes his way back today or not. And then Rashawn Holmes, coming off that injury, maybe they rest him today. We'll just have to see since they did play last night as well. But that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today's slate. But with that being said, I'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So at the point guard position, got Tyrese Halliburton, $6,800, looking for 34 points out of him. Getting the minutes, no De'Aaron Fox once again. He's going to have that minutes, the usage, pretty much everything you're looking for him today. So I think he can definitely pay off at that price tag once again. PJ Dozier, $5,200, looking for about 26 points out of him. We saw what he did the last time out with, that expanded role, expanded usage, expanded minutes. Definitely in play today. He could be a guy that could change over the course of the day too, though, if more value opens up. Cedi Osman, $3,800, looking for 19 points out of him, averaging 20 on the season. So you don't need to say too much there. If he's in that starting lineup once again, he's pretty much a lock in your guys' lineups. Then at power forward, I got Chuma Okeke, price down spot here at $4,900. Looking for 24, 25 points out of him. We obviously seen that he does have that upside, even though he's averaging about 19 points on the season. There's going to be some good games, some bad games with him, but more recently, it's been more good than bad. So take advantage of the price down spot. Then at the center position, I got Jakob Poeltl, $6,100, looking for 30, 31 points out of him. Been playing very well lately. Goes against the Wizards team that's not very good against centers overall, so I think it could be another good matchup for him once again tonight. But if you go with these 5 players that I have listed here, you'll have $23,200 left over, just over $7,700 per player. So as always, just a little bit of room to mix and match, kind of test out different lineups and see what works best for you. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So at the point guard position, we have Teo Maledon. He's kind of a hit or miss guy. There wasn't like a ton of super good value at the point guard position. $4,700, looking for 23, 24 points out of him. On a good day, you're going to get 25 points or more out of him. So I think he's definitely a guy to consider today, especially in GPPs. Then at shooting guard, went right back to Tyrese Halliburton. $6,100, looking for 30, 31 points out of him. Obviously, we saw him get over 40 yesterday. Pretty much everything I talked about on the DraftKings side already. No De'Aaron Fox. He's going to get the minutes. He's going to get the usage. Not too much else you can say about him there. Then we move down to small forward, and it's Cedi Osman once again, $3,500, looking for about 17, 18 points out of him, averaging just under 20 on the season. So as long as he's in that starting lineup, like I said on DraftKings, he's definitely in play today. He's actually $100 cheaper than he was yesterday after he had a 30-point game. Then we move down to the power forward position. I got Isaiah Roby. Been playing decent minutes last couple of times out. $4,100, price down spot for him overall. Looking for 20, 21 points out of him. That's what he's averaging on the season. Definitely gives you a chance to pay off for that price tag. Then last but not least, at center position, we got Jared Allen. And this is another price down spot, $5,700. Looking for 28, 29 points out of him, averaging 32 on the season. Had a monster game yesterday, so I think it's a good matchup for him against the Toronto Raptors as well. Definitely has the ability to pay off for this price tag. But if you go with these 5 players over on FanDuel today, you'll have $35,900 left over, just under $9,000 remaining. So definitely a little bit of room and flexibility to pay up for some of them star players and then find value to plug and play later on in the day. But with that being said, these are my picks for today, April 26th, for both FanDuel and DraftKings. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then as always, I'll be listing all the news, injury updates, and starting lineups down in the comments below. It is a 6 o'clock start, so I will try to get the starting lineups for those games. There's no guarantee, though, since running baseball practice is right up against the deadline there, but I'll do the best that I can for you guys, obviously. And with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It really, truly helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. And that's truly one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football teams, talking all the different football news this offseason, especially regarding the NFL draft, which is coming up this Thursday. And then it'll be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Very excited for the NFL draft. Very excited to see where some of my favorite prospects end up. And I cannot wait to share all that information with you guys. If you guys are into the NFL draft, I did drop my top 10 wide receiver prospects for the 2021 NFL draft yesterday, so be sure to check that out if that's something that you're into. But with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos like this, as well as some NFL draft content coming out in the coming days. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Hopefully you all do very well in NBA DFS tonight. And as always, if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.